Hello, guys. So, the championship season finale for Formula One 2025 is upon us, and Lando Norris lead कर रहा है championship by 12 points. And in second place, we have Max Verstappen, and 16 points behind Lando Norris, we have Oscar Piastri. All of them very much deserving of the championship. But for some reason, Max Verstappen fans को लगता है that Lando doesn't deserve this championship. तो यहाँ पे सवाल ये आता है, does he deserve it or does he not? तो चलिए इस बात को एक एक करके आगे डिस्कस करते हैं. So here, let's speak about who deserves to be the champion. क्योंकि जब एक चैंपियनशिप होती है तो उसमें कंटेंडर्स होते हैं, और जब कंटेंडर्स होते हैं तो उसमें होता है कि कुछ लोग डिजर्विंग होते हैं और कुछ नहीं. So here, does Oscar deserve to win the championship? Yes. So does Max deserve to win the championship? Yes. So does Lando deserve to win the championship? Obviously, yes. So when I am saying these all deserve a championship, so I should be ready to give out the reasons. मुझे रीजन देने के लिए तैयार होना चाहिए. So my reason for Max being deserving to win this championship: 9 rounds back at Dutch Grand Prix, Max was whooping 104 points behind Oscar Piastri, who was then the championship leader. He was behind 104 points, dosto. And now, with one round to go, Max is just 12 points behind Lando Norris, who is current championship leader. So obviously, when he drove his heart out this way, even if he doesn't win the championship, we are gonna remember his skills, we are gonna remember what he did, how he drove his heart out. So yes, Max deserves the championship. Now coming to Oscar. अब देखिए दोस्तों, he was consistent throughout the season. He barely made any mistakes until Azerbaijan GP. And after that, for 4 races, his form fell off, where Max and Lando caught up to him. So, does that make him any less deserving? Obviously not, because he was consistent throughout the season and he's still in the hunt. So he's still there. अब रही बात लैंडो की. At the beginning of the season, the championship was going to and fro between Oscar and Lando. And at Canada, Oscar was leading the championship, and Lando went for a bold move and slammed into the wall. So he fell behind. And after that, वो धीरे धीरे he was catching up to Oscar. लेकिन at Dutch GP, there was a mechanical failure for Lando and he fell behind 34 points behind Oscar. That put him on a back foot. But later on, उसके बाद जब Oscar का form lose हुआ, Lando picked up, and now with 1 round to go, he is 12 points in the lead and Oscar is 16 points behind him. And दोस्तों, that's the reason why I say all 3 of these deserve the championship. So दोस्तों, Max fans claim that Lando doesn't deserve the championship this season. चलिए उसके बारे में बात करते हैं यहाँ पे. So their first claim is Lando only wins because he has the fastest car. So does that make every past champion worthless? क्योंकि उन्होंने भी championship इसलिए जीती है क्योंकि उनके पास भी fastest car थी. And having the fastest car is not always enough. The driver needs to be capable to extract the speed and capability of the car and bring out the performance. ये बैगन में मुफ्त में नहीं मिलता वहां पे win. The driver has to drive the car and break out the capabilities of that car, perform in that car, not crumble under the pressure in that car. And the second claim Max fans love to make is Lando is leading the championship only because McLaren is favoring him, while McLaren's papaya rules has favored him only once. सिर्फ एक बार हुआ ये, and that was at Monza. Apart from that, I have never seen how it favored him. How exactly? Can you tell me? Can you guys tell me how? क्योंकि सिर्फ Monza में हुआ था when there was a slow stop and they asked Oscar to re-establish the order. And before the stop, just to be clear over here, before the stop, Lando ने कहा था if there is not going to be an undercut, only then Oscar can pit first, or else he's going to pit. And the team said there is not going to be an undercut, so you are safe and you can pit later. लेकिन हुआ क्या? There was a slow stop. And this is the thing that Red Bull fans don't consider, Max fans don't consider this, that this was a team mistake, and then they tried to correct it as it was between their team. If there was another team involved, then it would just be an racing incident. So ये चीज समझनी चाहिए दोस्तों यहाँ पे लोगों को. This is the thing that they need to understand. Last year Hungary में भी same thing हुआ था, that team made a mistake and they re-established the order. और यहाँ भी वही हुआ था. It's between the team when they try to rectify something. I think it still stays between the team, and I still think they had a clear reason to do that. Dosto, I don't think they did anything wrong over there. Now coming to the third claim. Max fans love to say that the championship would have been decided by halfway through the season if Max was driving this McLaren. क्या ऐसा होता? I don't believe कि ऐसा होता, because Max never had a teammate who could challenge him for the championship. And Lando and Oscar, यहाँ पे ये दोनों drivers ऐसे हैं, they are talented enough to be fighting for the championship. It's the last round and both of them are still in the race to win the championship. तो वहाँ पे देख लो, the points get divided and that's why championship has come till here. दोस्तों, Max should just feel lucky कि both of these are capable enough to be fighting for the championship and points are getting divided उनके बीच, because of which he is still in the championship race. If it was still won, maybe the championship would have been ended through half the season. That could actually be a bad take, but still, that's my take. Now coming to bottling. जब हम undeserving की बात कर ही रहे हैं, तो इसकी भी बात कर ही लेते हैं कि किसने कितने points bottle किए. Now coming to Oscar. From the beginning of the season, he was very consistent. उसने कोई गलती नहीं की, कुछ भी नहीं. And then came Azerbaijan GP, where he DNF'd in the sprint and as well as the race. And उसके बाद he was not consistent at all. He was finishing P5, where Max and Lando were winning the races, which allowed them to catch up to him. And उसके बाद हुआ Las Vegas वाला disqualification, because of which Max came on level on points with Oscar, and Lando was leading by 36 points. So that's what happened with Oscar. और रही बात लैंडो की, लैंडो obviously his race starts were not good for few of the races, जहाँ पे he lost places but he made up during the race, so that's not actually an issue वहाँ पे. The main issue came at the Canadian GP, where he slammed into the wall, giving Oscar a good lead in the championship. And later on when he was catching up, then a mechanical failure. So there it is. So he bottled only once, just the one disaster. So is it bad दोस्तों? Of course not, क्योंकि bad जो है वो अब आएगा जब मैं मैक्स की बात करूंगा, because Max has dropped points on two occasions. One was at Silverstone, where he spun, and second one, this was a disaster, because he did not lose points because of any mistake. He lost it because of his impulses. He couldn't keep his cool. So he was asked to give back the place to George Russell, and if he had done it, he would have finished the race in P5 and gotten 10 points. But he got angry, he got impulsive, and banged wheels with George Russell, because of which उसको मिला 10 second की penalty and he dropped places till P10. अभी you might be thinking, उससे हुआ क्या? If he had finished in P5, उसके पास 10 पॉइंट होते उस रेस में, but he finished in P10, उसको मिले सिर्फ 1 पॉइंट, a loss of 9 points. 9 points, and now with 1 round to go, दोस्तों he is 12 points behind Lando Norris. अगर उसके पास वो points होते, he would have been 3 points behind Lando Norris. So maybe if Max loses this championship, maybe then he can look back at what he did back then, and maybe he is the one who has bottled this championship. अब जब इतनी सारी बातें हो ही चुकी है, तो कंक्लूजन पे आ ही जाते हैं. तो जो सब हमने अभी बात किया, does it really matter in the championship? Obviously not, because championship is not won in one or two isolated incidents. उसके लिए 24 रेसेस की सीजन होती है. It's won across those 24 races. तो if you're thinking कि इन एक और दो इंसिडेंट में कुछ हो ही जाता है, it does affect. But consistency is the one that wins you the championship. And that's what you need to understand यहाँ पे. Red Bull fans keep asking me if I'm a Ferrari fan. Why am I so bothered when they speak about Lando? Why do I keep supporting him? Why do I keep defending him? So, listen here, Muppets. Because when I started watching F1, I saw this kid being goofy and funny around in a not so dominant car, getting podiums, having a humor beyond your comprehension. You guys had no issues with him back then, but when he started winning and he wanted to win more, suddenly you guys had a problem with him. Just because he was challenging Max. You guys started taking his words out of context, hating him, being toxic around. And if it was some other driver doing the same, you guys had no problems whatsoever. And if it's Lando, you guys will fight him to death. Just for opening his mouth. So now that he has a chance to win his dream, I'll be there to support him. Hope it's clear. So guys, next time around, try being less toxic. And drivers को मारने की धमकी देते नको फिरो. नहीं तो हमारे कब्बन पार्क के पीछे वाटर सुबह बोल के खींच के मारते. So guys, that's it for today, and if you watched the video, like it and subscribe for more content like this. Adios.